The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the QATV staff or board of directors. QATV, in compliance with FCC regulations, is prohibited from exercising control over the content of independent, member-produced public access programming.
Hello there. We start our new year. This is our first show. Wishing our viewers here in Quincy, Massachusetts, and all cities in US, as well as to our global audience, Happy New Year. Here in the studio, I wish my co-host and my longtime friend, Soph, a very Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you. We're looking forward to this year.
Yes, we are, definitely.
This is a year that we are dedicating towards the unity, global unity, as well as equality for women. Both Soph and me are going to concentrate all our shows this year on women's issues. The reason behind is there is a lot of not very excellent things going on with women or children or underage girls.
Trafficking.
Sex trafficking. So sex trafficking
Is on the
needs
rise.
to stop. It's on the rise. I am quite sure, and so is Soph, that it's not going to stop, but it needs to be restrained. Violence against women, violence against girls in college, in campuses, sexual abuse. These are our prime issues that we are going to dedicate our show this year. We also are trying to see that we have women in every sections of media. So how is this possible that we, being all these women in power, are unable to stop what's going on around the world and also in United States? So I dedicate Faces of South Asia dedicates shows in 2015 for the wellness of women globally. Here in the studio, I wish Happy New Year to our gentle, intelligent, precise director, Peter Leo. Happy New Year. To our executive director of QATV, Elizabeth Campbell, for her admirable kindness and her guidance. Maureen Flynn, to believe in our skills. William Early, I call him my godfather, and I'm sure Soph does too. He has taught us everything we know behind the camera, as well as the guidance required for all our shows. Jonathan, Mark, Michael, Martin, Christopher, Carol, and to our sponsor, very important, Dove, for their unthinkable service to fight domestic violence in the community. My warmest regards to Sue Chandler and Jennifer Yurden. It's been a wonderful year, and we are looking forward to the next great year. And thank you. During, Happy New Year, we were wishing Happy New Year. During the New Year, someone came up to me and said that, you know what goes on around the world on New Year. So I said, well, we all wish Happy New Year. I said, no, each country has their own tradition. So that made me look into it, and I will share some of the traditions that I could gather from around the world. In Australia, people plan, and camp out on the beaches. So they have picnics and they camp out on the beaches. In Australia, New Year's Day is outdoor activities such as rodeos, picnics, races, and surf carnivals. That's how Australians celebrate New Year. The British New Year, which I thought was very interesting, in Britain, the custom of first footing is practiced. The first male visitor to the house after midnight is usually supposed to bring good luck. Usually they bring a gift like money, bread, or coal, which is done to ensure the family the following year. The first person not to be, most likely it should not be a blonde or a red hair or a woman, as these people are supposed to bring bad luck. The Druids have a gift of twigs from the mistletoe, as this was a plant that was sacred to them as a magic source of fertility. And that's how Britain celebrates its traditional New Year. In South Africa, they ring the New Year with church bells and gunshots fired in the air. For those in the Cape Town province, New Year's Day and second New Year's Day are full of carnival atmosphere, as there are carnivals where people dress in colorful costumes and dance in streets to the sound of drums. That's from Africa. In South America, we call Año Viejo. The New Year festival is celebrated by creating a fake person as dummy, the scarecrow, looking that is completely dressed and stuffed with old newspapers and crackers. The dummy is usually placed outside the home. The scarecrow represents something that has happened during the last year. At midnight, each family lights the dummy on fire. As the dummy goes up in smoke, the firecrackers also go off to add to the festivities. The old year is forgotten and the start of a new year begins in South America. And then we come to
the Far East. In the Far East, it's celebrated by people by first washing the statues of Buddha with scented water. People throw water over each other at New Year's festivals. They do this in hope that this will bring them a good rainy season so they have good crops. That makes sense. One year, on New Year's Eve, custom celebrated in the Far East is to let pet animals go free. Sometimes people buy turtles for New Year's. They decorate their shells with gold paper, then they let it go. They are kind to animals as they believe it will bring them good luck in the year to come.
Great tradition.
Very nice.
In the United States, well, of course we have to say this, the American New Year customs such as dance parties are thrown on New Year's Eve to see in the new year. Times Square in New York City has a ball drop hosted by any television celebs. This is broadcast all over United States. At the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve, people will kiss or honk car horns. Paper blowers and whistles are blown to welcome the new year. A soul food of black-eyed beans and rice called Hoppin's John is eaten by some. Other foods are cake and of course champagne. In US, it is believed black-eyed beans are lucky. Championship football is also watched on television or in stadiums across United States. In New York, Times Square, we watch for the moment when a giant brightly lit colored ball, you mentioned now it's all crystals,
Right.
as all Swarovski crystals
Yep.
with light, is lowered to the ground, at which time we start saying Happy New Year. So these are a few traditions that we have come across the world, and there are many more. All over India, traditional Happy New Year is the same way on the day of, we say Happy New Year, but then comes the Shankrantis and the Pongals, and Lori to say Happy New Year.
So what happens? Like, is it like in every part, a different part of India is like celebrated differently? Is that what happens?
That's
Oh.
correct. Thank you for asking. What happens is, like I said, the word Lori.
Right.
Now, Lori belongs to Punjab or all over Delhi. Lori is celebrated. They make a big bonfire and they throw popcorn, kind of, and they dance around it.
Oh, really? Oh,
So
interesting.
then in the south of India, you have Pongal,
Yes.
and they put flowers and they decorate with
Outside the houses? Oh, right.
and they
I've
have
seen
these
them.
huge flower arrangements, on the floor. Pongal, they call it Pongal, and it is amazing. Shankranti for the rest of the country, it's the same. They take a dip, and they start a new year.
Oh.
But as you see, like you asked, all over the world, New Year's is seen as a positive sign.
Bringing the new year with good luck, wishes for everyone, which is so true. Like, you hope to celebrate it with the coming year, and you want everything nice to happen, which
Yes.
is so true.
It's the best of everyone. Just like I'm enthusiastic, so are you to see this new year. So during this time, we all wish that we have a peaceful year. We wish what we didn't have before. Some wish for money, some wish for peace, some wish for, how can I say, comfort in all ways. So there are different wishes. Then there are orphans who wish to have a home. There are sex slaves who wish to get out of the industry. There are single mothers looking to have a little more money so they can support their children. So when you look at New Year, don't just see it as another year with fun and activities. Each one of you decide, what do you want to do? One good thing in this world, just one little thing. And maybe you're seeing an abuse that you can stop. Maybe you can see that there's a domestic violence going on that can be stopped. Maybe you're seeing somebody hitting a woman, somebody sexually abusing a child, a rape happening in somewhere in the world that can be stopped. We alone cannot stop this violence. We have already made it aware globally, but we need action, and action comes from the public, whether here in Quincy, Massachusetts, or all across the globe. We have to mobilize activity by women, for the benefit of the women, and in future, the daughters, the girls. For that unborn baby girl that has been aborted because it was known it was going to be a girl. For that girl, we fight from Faces of South Asia. For the unemployed girl who is still waiting so that a male counterpart has been promoted or has been offered a job. Don't you think so?
I think what we want people to do is take action, not just to be quiet about it, but like do something positively, so that we can help our young children, we can help the females, because we are, we are the ones who get abused, like the women who get abused, and we need to address this. And I think it's very important not to just take a back seat, but to move forward and to help out.
Absolutely. And each one of us have the courage to move forward, to change, to make a change, a conscious change in this world. Since we started the show, we have got great response. We are so happy that we could reach out not only here in Quincy, Massachusetts, but all counties as well as globally. Received so many emails. It touched my heart, and said that so this year we are going to dedicate to the complete unity of the world as well as for the woman. It's so painful to see a bruised woman's picture. It's so painful to see a girl being sold for sex slave because she's poor, because she needed that money to support her family. All of these, it's so painful, and people in power, sometimes they have so much that to care for, that they overlook these. But when you come across them at the grassroots level, when you talk to these people, you say, what am I doing? How can I stop this? And we have women in media, we have women making films, we have women in every step of the media, but we are not united. Once we get united, we are sure, we have women entrepreneurs, we are sure to make a difference and make a change. And this is a year we want to do that. And Sophie and me are going to dedicate every show and do even bigger to make sure that we end this year saying we made a difference. And I'm so glad you've been all along with us. We've grown tremendously, and thank you globally, in United States as well as in Quincy, Massachusetts.
Thank you very much.
Bye
Bye-bye.
from here. See you again next time.
Bye-bye.